PSG make contacts for Dusan Vlahovic. Bonucci, time to say bye-bye. And new names at targets should Dusan Vlahovic leave Juventus. All that and all the mercato rumblings today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. I'm Alberto. Let's rock. Kick things off with Bonucci. His time at Juventus apparently is done, according to Di Marzio. He says that Juve does not see him as an important player anymore. He is out of the plans. They were set to end the relationship in June of 2024. However, now looking at alternatives to end it before that. And Bonucci, according to Mirko Di Natale, has been told for quite some time now to go and find some other alternatives. Sampdoria is potentially an alternative. Ligro Tagli, familiar with Juventini, he is their sporting director, and he had this to say, and he says, I can't speak on the matter at the moment, but we will see if it happens or not. So who knows what's going to happen, but Bonucci looking for alternatives. We could be coming to the time to say bye-bye Bonucci. Zakaria and the West Ham deal, things are hung up because Juve continues to fight for the obligation, which is absolutely critical. We cannot keep things going 1 year at a time with these players that we're trying to move. We have to get obligations, so this one makes complete sense. They have a deal on the table worth 21 million euros with a loan option to purchase. Juve wants obligation, and that makes complete sense. Let's hope they can see that over the finish line. Some reports suggest that Juventus could be putting in a bid this week for Emil Holm at around 5 to 6 million euros. I actually don't believe it. I think we're going to be set, and I'll clarify a little more why I feel that way towards the end of this video. Paul Pogba at J Medical today unexpectedly did leave J Medical. He did put in a full group training session today. I think they're just keeping close tabs on Paul Pogba, right? As far as the rumors circulating about him, saying that he turned up 2 offers to Saudi Arabia. The first initial offer and then an increased offer, whatnot, to stay at Juventus, but it could have a lot more to do with the fact he wants to be at the next Euros with France. We'll see what happens. Pellegrini and Lazio, he has returned to Juventus, okay? He wants to go to Lazio, but there are no reports as far as when the next meetings are set to take place between Juventus and Lazio. So we'll see what happens there. PSG apparently has made contacts. They have made contacts with Juventus, okay, according to reports today, looking at what it's going to take to bring in Dusan Vlahovic. Apparently a first offer could come in somewhere around 70 million euros. We will have to see. He is, and this was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, on PSG's short list, okay? So it makes complete sense that they're starting to poke and prod now to figure out what it's going to take to get him over there. As far as the alternatives for Juventus, should Vlahovic leave, remains the same. Jonathan David is in there. Noah Okafor is in there as well. And Scamacca. You didn't think we were going to get through this mercato without hearing his name pop up again, did you? So Scamacca as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But I personally do believe, and I want to get what you all think, somebody big from Juventus, I think, is going to be sold this mercato. If we're looking at these sales, everything they're trying to do right now, Juventus, in correcting the financial state, I think one of them kind of has to go. Out of the 3 that we have, if we're talking Bremer, Chiesa, Vlahovic, this is where it gets tricky. So Vlahovic has a contract for a good amount of time remaining at Juventus. Chiesa does not. After this season, he enters his final contract year. Again, has not stated to the club his intentions. If his intentions are not to remain, even though out of those 3, Bremer, Chiesa, Vlahovic, I would personally pick Vlahovic to move on from. You technically can't if Chiesa is unwilling to renew at Juventus. You could be in worse shape come long run. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see what actually happens here. And hopefully we get word soon on Chiesa and his intentions. And hopefully, I'm hoping that they involve Juventus. I know there's a good number of the fan base that say they would move Federico Chiesa this summer. And I understand why. Now, as far as the mercato goes, again, slow moving, very, very inactive mercato. I think we're starting to see what's going down here. I'm going to lay it all out, and I'd like to see how you all feel about it. First off, I think it's very evident we are going to start off the season. We are going to be playing 3-5-2. That much is clear. as far as other targets, other moves Juventus making, it's coming down to the sales. We know they're working hard in behind the scenes on moving McKennie, Arthur, Zakaria. Sales are critical. I don't see anybody else coming in other than that cheap Timothy Weah deal unless we finish some sales up. And again, replacements, center back, forwards, whatever, strikers, only if those guys move. So I think it's going to be very, very quiet. And this was expected the whole time. I mean, about 2 months from season's end, Romeo Gresti on this show said, expect a very, very quiet mercato. Things got off to a really, really hot start in terms of news and everything that was going on. And I think we were very, very hopeful in terms of selling McKennie, Arthur, and Zakaria because it seemed like we were going to find a deal very, very quick. And maybe that wasn't going to be as hard as expected. But here we are. And again, you hear it this morning, fighting for the obligation to Zakaria. That is critical. We have to, whatever is decided with these players, it has to be final. We cannot drag it on any further. So that's how I feel. That's where it stands with Juventus. It's going to be a long and maybe very, very dull mercato if we don't get some sales going. So let's see what happens. That's your news break to today, Juventini. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about all the news you heard here today. Let's mix it up. Give me your comments, questions, thoughts, opinions, and let's mix it up. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another one. Fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.